Another thing before I jump over to the Thanksgiving story, things are just popping in my head as I go. Jesse, how are you doing? Um, I was watching like Christian Harloff today. Sometimes I'll watch like John Campea. Sometimes I'll watch Christian Harloff, and Roxy was on the show. And Roxy said something that really caught my eye, or caught my ear. I really dug what she said. She was talking about fandom, and she was talking about she just watched Lord of the Rings, the trilogy, for the first time, and she was immediately obsessed. Kind of like what Christian was talking about when he watched Interstellar recently and he fell in love with him. Don't you love, guys, when that happens? Tell me right now in the chat, is there a movie, like a recent kind of movie within the last 20 years that you watched and you just immediately not only fell in love with the movie, but it could be like a contender of your all-time like top 20, top 50, something like that? I guess that's kind of what happened with Roxy. She watched Lord of the Rings and she said she just freaking fell head over heels for it. She absolutely adored it. So she was in the community, I guess, I don't know if it was forums or probably YouTube comments or whatever. I don't like follow her close or anything, so I don't know where she posted this, but she said she got obliterated by the audience because she said one negative thing, not even negative, just this particular character, it was Theoden. She didn't think in the second movie he was a great leader. She said something like that, and just people just freaking unloaded on her. You're a freaking idiot, blah blah blah. And she said it was so bad that she got really upset. And it's really bad when it affects your liking of that movie or that property. Isn't that a shame that you come out of a movie or a trilogy and you're like, God, that's so great. I can't believe I didn't watch that back then. Now I love it to death. And then you just get freaking raked across the coals by the fandom. And it just leaves a stain. It leaves us like a sour note on that. And even worse, the next time you go and watch it, maybe that sour note is still there a little bit. And I'm sure some people have had this with like Star Wars. Star Wars is just really a stain and a sour note these days. And it's not, the fandom is toxic. The fandom's always been toxic, even equals. And this is not me stating that the stuff that Disney is putting out with Star Wars these days, I'd say 85% of it is really, really, really bad. So it's deserved. So I guess it's the machine feeds upon itself, the negativity machine, because you got pissed off fans, some fans that you can't make them happy anyway. And then you got a subpar product to most people. And so that beast, it just kind of feeds upon itself and it just gets bigger and bigger and nastier and uglier. And then all the videos that you see on YouTube are negative, because there's big money in that. And I'm not going to dig deep into this because I've talked about this stuff before. We all play we who do the YouTube, we play the game. Like I posted a Halloween update last week, 24,000 freaking views. Just because it's Halloween, and I put the word drama in there because there was a little bit of drama, and that's just a sad truth. That type of content, people are curious. I get curious. I get curious when I drive by the car accident, right? That's just the nature of the beast. That's human nature. I can't judge anybody for what they click on, because I do it too. I totally get it. But going back to what I was talking about, then she made a statement about, she said, I don't like horror at all, but I actually, and I'm just paraphrasing here, but I was in, I guess maybe she was in one of the horror communities or something like that, or maybe it was like a horror group. And she said, I never felt so welcome and so invited by any other community. And I would even say that maybe the horror community is probably the kindest community that she's ever seen. And man, that made me feel really good and made me feel proud of our horror community, because for the most part, I think she's right. I think for the most part, yeah, when David Gordon Green's Halloween trilogy came out, there was definitely some ugliness going on, but I think it was like maybe a small percentage of what we get in, like, say, Star Wars and Marvel and all that stuff, right? Even when it's bad in horror, it still doesn't even scratch the surface. And most of the time, it's just very positive. It's a very positive environment. People have fun with each other over here. And I think that's part of the reason why I love horror so much, is because of not just the movies, but the community, you know? And plus, I think we always talk about we want original content. Well, you know, horror, we're over here standing on the sidelines looking at everybody bitching about wanting original content. And we're like, we got it. It's over here. We're putting out more of it every week. And a lot of it's great.